and welcome again to MotorWeek 90. We're glad to have you with us. To most people, the word explorer means fearless men and women that brave the unknown, daring souls facing tremendous hardships and possible death in the pursuit of knowledge. It also brings to mind a host of famous names, like Lewis and Clark, Amelia Earhart, and James T. Kirk. Ford's new Explorer doesn't face quite the same obstacles, but Dearborn's latest entry in the sport utility segment still has a big job ahead of it. It must maintain the market already established by the Explorer's Bronco 2 predecessor, while also breaking into the four-door wagon segment currently dominated by the Jeep Cherokee. A rough trip for any new vehicle, but one for which the Explorer is well equipped. It starts with a long 111.9-inch wheelbase. That's 17.9 inches longer than the old Bronco 2 wheelbase and nearly 10 inches longer than the current Jeep Cherokee. While that long wheelbase should help quell the rollover fears often associated with short sport utility vehicles, the real advantage is an interior room. There's an inch more legroom here than in the Jeep Cherokee, and an inch more headroom, and 2.3 inches more shoulder room. In addition, the seat back splits and folds, and cargo room measures a whopping 79.7 cubic feet, 8.5 feet more than the aging Jeep. A cargo net is standard on all models, and the cargo cover comes when you order the $21,760 Eddie Bauer Explorer. All Explorers get this slickly designed hatch with a window that opens separately. Wiper and defroster are optional on the $15,989 XL, which is the least expensive four-door model. The Explorer is Ford's first four-door sport utility vehicle, but a two-door version is also available. Both versions come down the same assembly line with the Ranger pickup, so the interior bears a resemblance. But these gauges would be at home in a Mustang GT. The Explorer gets a complete clear analog collection. The optional leather interior would be at home on a Lincoln. The driver's seat adjustments are both manual and power. The additional controls are for tailoring bolster and lumbar areas. It's easy to find a comfortable position, and the overall feel of that position is car-like. You sit in the Explorer, not on top of it, as in so many other sport utilities. Adjustments for the dual power side mirrors and power windows are made at the door armrest. And most everything is well within the driver's view and reach, including controls for heat and air conditioning, and for the Ford JBL stereo, a 145-watt unit that's been acoustically equalized to the interior. According to Ford research, only 1 in 10 drivers ever take their sport utility off-road, but the Explorer is ready for the task. Four-wheel drive models come with touch drive four-wheel drive that can be shifted on the fly. If you're the kind of diehard who likes to get out and lock hubs manually, Ford offers a get-your-feet-dirty system as an option. If you really don't care about any of this, the Explorer is also available in two-wheel drive only. Both two- and four-wheel drive models are rated for towing 3,500 pounds. 6,000 pounds is possible with a frame-mounted hitch. That rating results from having a 4-liter V6 engine as standard equipment. Even the XL model gets it. Though based on the European 2.9-liter Cologne engine that Ford has used for years, it's improved and beefed up internally. Making 220 pound-feet of torque and 155 horsepower, the engine is port fuel injected and comes mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. A 4-speed automatic overdrive transmission is optional. Our loaded Eddie Bauer Explorer with an automatic transmission went from 0 to 60 in 9.9 seconds. The quarter mile took 17.2 seconds and ended at 77 miles per hour. Those are excellent numbers, and incidentally slightly faster ones than for the last Jeep 4-liter we tested. If we have any complaint, it's that the engine generates a bit more noise than some of the V6s in late-model sport utility vehicles from Toyota and Nissan. All Explorers get anti-lock brakes for the rear axle, which should keep the vehicle in a panic stop. But our test Explorer was not the straightest stopping. Still, numbers were good, averaging to 126 feet and stopped from 60 miles per hour. A mushy-feeling pedal made the brakes hard to modulate. This behavior may have been the result of low miles on our test vehicle. As for handling, the Explorer responds to a hard turn with less body roll than we'd have predicted. Plow at the front end, however, is heavy. The steering is not especially quick, but it transmits plenty of positive feedback to the driver. But the Explorer's high center of gravity really shows itself in a high-speed lane change maneuver. The vehicle performed adequately in our test, but drivers must remember that the Explorer is basically a truck and it can't just be tossed around. An EPA rating of 15 city, 20 highway is not particularly impressive. We returned 18 in our mileage loop. To be fair, that's as good as you can expect in any six-cylinder vehicle in this class. In our safety check, the Explorer fails to have airbags for either driver or passenger. It does have anti-lock brakes, if only on the rear, and shoulder belts for rear seat passengers. Despite a lack of airbags, we commend Ford for the Explorer's other safety equipment. Front and rear 2.5 mile-per-hour bumpers, side door impact beams, front head restraints, and even a high-mounted stoplight are all standard, even though they are not yet required by law in sport utility vehicles. Explorer competitors aren't so equipped. We like the balance that the Explorer strikes between truck-like utility and car-like comfort. We're impressed with its power and its room, and the Explorer's convenience features, such as its tailgate design and 40/60 split-folding rear seat, are beautifully thought out and better than those we often rave about in vehicles from Japan. Misses include brakes that, while adequate, do not inspire our confidence, and not so terrific fuel economy. For comparison, the aging Jeep Cherokee Wagoneer has less interior room and fewer convenience features. It is, however, more maneuverable off-road and offers anti-lock brakes on all four wheels. Toyota's four-door 4Runner also has less interior room. It offers less power and load-pulling torque than the Explorer. It does have a smoother, quieter engine. It's all too rare these days that we can say we prefer an American vehicle to one from Japan. And it's not just the Explorer's size that makes it better. The credit also goes to designed-in features. Ford has clearly done a great job with this vehicle, which deserves to be called best in class.